It may sound a little odd, but a bowl of black bean and tomato salad, the most everyday thing in your kitchen, can become a powerful ally to help keep your vision sharp, especially if you're worried about glaucoma. That I've heard so many familiar confessions. I still see fine, but lately car headlights at night feel like knives, or I read the paper for a bit and my eyes are exhausted. Have you ever heard yourself in those words? Yes, age is part of the journey. But the trabecular meshwork, the retina, and the optic nerve can still be nourished and protected, starting with very simple, gentle habits right at lunch. I'm Dr. Robert Ellis, with more than 20 years walking alongside Americans over 60. Today, I'll show you 3 silent factors that raise risk and 4 nutrients/habits that help steady intraocular pressure, support blood flow, and strengthen your eyes from the inside. No gimmicks, no miracle pills, just easy to understand evidence from clinical research and things you already have in your kitchen. And by the end of this video, you'll have a 10-minute lunch ritual you can start tonight, along with 1 recipe, 3 self-check points, and a very doable 7-day challenge. If this speaks to you, please hit subscribe, tap the bell, and comment start. Hello, and thank you for spending time with me today. I made this video with a simple hope to help you proactively protect your eyes from the invisible thief called glaucoma. It's a disease that advances quietly. No pain, no obvious blur early on. Yet it slowly steals pieces of your side vision over the years. By the time you notice, it's often the parts you can't get back. Have you ever heard someone say, "I felt fine, and then the doctor told me it was too late"? I hear that so often it breaks my heart. The biggest reason isn't neglect. It's that glaucoma is incredibly subtle. So what do we do? Today, I'm laying a map on the table. Know where you sit on the risk landscape, understand why blood sugar and blood pressure are linchpins, pay attention to sleep and nighttime blood pressure, nourish your eyes with vitamin C and zinc, calm the vessels with leafy greens, and wrap it all in a 10-minute lunch ritual. You can begin now. Before we go on, if you're over 60 or have a close relative with glaucoma, drop 1 word, screening, in the comments to remind yourself to book a pressure check soon. That tiny note in the comments could be the first step toward a lot of peace later. Now, let's start with the foundational question. Are you in the danger zone? Imagine your eye as a home with a delicate drainage system. Inside is a network called the trabecular meshwork, the pathway that lets fluid exit, keeping intraocular pressure, or IOP, in a safe range. After 60, the meshwork tends to stiffen like pipes that haven't been serviced. Fluid doesn't drain well, pressure rises. And when pressure in the eye stays higher than the nerve tissue can tolerate, the optic nerve, the cable carrying signals from your eyes to your brain, wears down fiber by fiber. But here's something worth noting. If your parents or siblings have glaucoma, your risk jumps 4 to 9 times. I know numbers can feel dry, but it's like moving into a house with weak plumbing. Everything looks normal, but inside the pressure is quietly building. We don't say this to scare you. We say it so we can check earlier to AS for ethnicity. People of African descent can face glaucoma earlier, sometimes in their 50s, and it may progress faster. Hispanic/Latino individuals also carry higher than average risk. If you see yourself in these groups, don't wait for symptoms. Think of regular pressure checks and visual field tests like oil changes. You do them to keep everything running smoothly. A quick story. Mrs. Johnson, 68, still drives to see her grandkids every week. She told me, "I'm fine, doctor." At a routine screening, we noticed her eye pressure was a bit high and a small defect on the edge of her visual field. Because it was early, she began monitoring and tweaked a few habits. Today, her afternoon drives are the same, as always, clear and confident. 1 number that startles many people. Nearly 50% of those with glaucoma don't know they have it until damage shows up on tests. That's why I keep repeating, don't wait for a feeling to go in. Feelings arrive late. If you've been quietly nodding, please tap like so the algorithm can bring this to someone else who needs to hear it. And do hit subscribe. Next week, I'll share a simple at-home visual field check you can try yourself. Now the story travels beyond the eyes. Most folks think blood sugar and blood pressure are heart or kidney issues. But your eyes, home to some of the most delicate vessels in the body, feel it all. When blood sugar runs high for too long, tiny retinal capillaries, the micropipes bringing oxygen and nutrients, are easily damaged. They can leak, clog, even collapse. Oxygen doesn't reach where it's needed, and harmful byproducts build up. Meanwhile, high or fluctuating blood pressure disrupts the precise rhythm of ocular blood flow, can even interfere with fluid drainage, quietly nudging IOP upward without a whisper of pain. Nearly 1 in 4 older adults wrestles with blood sugar or blood pressure that isn't optimally controlled. Put that number on your eyes, and you'll see why no glaucoma plan is complete without a blood chapter. Walter, 67, a retired math professor, came to me because the left eye feels like a thin fog. He didn't realize his blood sugar had been high for years. We teamed up with his endocrinologist, adjusted meals, split portions, and added 10 to 15 minutes of walking after lunch. A few months later, his blood sugar was steadier, and most importantly, that left eye stopped getting worse. He smiled. I thought I was protecting my heart. Turns out, I was protecting my eyes too. Do you check your blood sugar and blood pressure regularly? When was your last reading? If you have a home cuff, a small morning habit can be a big shield for your vision, but there's another puzzle piece many overlook: sleep. So many of my patients over 60 snore heavily, feel sleepy in the daytime, wake with a dry mouth. Those can be signs of sleep apnea, or OSA. OSA makes oxygen and blood pressure swing like a boat in the waves at night. At the same time, some folks, especially on blood pressure meds, experience nighttime drops that are too deep. That sounds good, low pressure, right? But if it's too low, the optic nerve head doesn't get enough blood, and that's exactly where glaucoma aims. Patrick, 72, is diligent with meds and never misses a follow-up. Yet his visual field kept slowly worsening, even with eye pressure not all that high. We asked about his sleep. His wife said, "He snores like thunder, and sometimes I swear he stops breathing." A sleep study came back positive for OSA. He began CPAP and saw his cardiologist to adjust meds and avoid excessive nighttime dips. 6 months later, his visual field stabilized. No magic, just seeing the whole picture. Have you ever wondered why you feel so sleepy in the day or wake feeling unrefreshed? If so, bring it up with your doctor. You're not just protecting your heart and lungs, you're guarding your optic nerve that we've talked a lot about risk. Now to my favorite part. What you can do today to strengthen your eyes from within, starting with vitamin C. Vitamin C isn't just a winter lozenge. It's the key that lets your body make collagen, the inner scaffolding of the eye. Collagen supports the cornea, strengthens the white of the eye, helps the optic nerve resist stress, and is especially important in the trabecular meshwork, the drain where fluid exits. When collagen is weak, the meshwork loses spring, drainage slows, and pressure tends to rise. Recent studies highlight vitamin C's role in helping these tissues stay durable as we age. No need to wade into jargon. The takeaway: a little vitamin C from fresh foods each day is like routine maintenance for your eyes framework. Maria, 72, a lifelong florist, came in because little specks drift across my vision. Her pressure was borderline high. When we reviewed meals, she chuckled, "I love pastry and coffee more than fruit and greens." We started simple. Half a cup of cherry tomatoes at lunch, 1 small orange, or half a grapefruit in the morning. 3 months later, she said, "Those floaters aren't increasing anymore. I feel calmer." No new meds, no machines, just giving her body the raw materials it was missing. Picture this habit as so simple you can't make an excuse. A handful of cherry tomatoes, 1 small orange. That's it now, movement. For your eyes, you don't need to work out hard. You need rhythm. Moderate aerobic activity, brisk walking, easy cycling, gentle swimming, 20 to 30 minutes, 5 days a week, can trim intraocular pressure a bit and improve blood flow to the optic nerve head. It may be only a few points, but with glaucoma, each millimeter of mercury you ease down matters. Point 2 things to avoid: prolonged inverted postures like headstands or long stretches with your head below your heart, and holding your breath when you strain. Those can raise eye pressure temporarily. Breathe steadily and let gentle rhythm be your eye's companion. Annie, 70, told me, I'm not a gym person, doctor. I said, we don't need a gym. We need a habit. She began with 12 minutes of walking after lunch, swapped one flight of escalator for stairs, and did a few chair stretches. 6 weeks later, she called, I just visited my grandkids and didn't feel that familiar eye fatigue. Sometimes your body asks only for a little consistency. Now, zinc, the unsung gatekeeper of the retina. Zinc is abundant at the macula, the spot that gives you your sharpest sight. It flips the switch for antioxidant enzymes, slowing the rust of aging cells. It also partners with vitamin A to help your eyes adapt to changing light. When zinc is low, you may feel glare, light sensitivity, or that familiar line, why does nothing look crisp anymore? Some evidence suggests zinc may help protect the optic nerve, right where glaucoma does its damage. But I always caution patients, be careful with high-dose zinc pills. They can throw off copper balance. The golden rule, food first. Tom, 68, a retired delivery driver, told me, I stopped night driving. Headlights are like blades. No diabetes, pressure okay, but hardly any beans or seeds in his meals. We added black or kidney beans to lunch 3 times a week. 6 weeks later, he said, I still don't love driving at night, but I feel safe again. That's your body getting the materials it needed. Start with what's close at hand. Black beans, chickpeas, lentils, kidney beans, pumpkin seeds. They bring zinc plus fiber and protein to steady blood sugar, though we've got the framework, collagen. The gatekeeper, zinc. Now the road, your vessels. Dark leafy greens like kale and spinach are rich in natural nitrate. Your body turns nitrate into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps vessels stay supple, opening just enough for blood to glide where it's needed, including the optic nerve head. Large observational studies suggest diets rich in nitrate from leafy greens are linked to lower glaucoma risk. Not a drug, not a miracle, but when you set nitrate alongside vitamin C and zinc, you're building a system. Road open, scaffolding strong, control center guarded. Here's a gentle 7-day challenge. Add 1 handful of leafy greens to your main meal each day. Toss into a salad, flash saute with garlic and olive oil, or blend a light, no sugar green smoothie. If you're in, comment 7-day so I know you'll try. I'll pin a simple menu in the description. All of this becomes sustainable when we turn it into a ritual. And the one I want you to take home today takes just 10 minutes. A bowl of black bean and tomato salad. Latin-inspired, quick, easy, tasty, and most importantly, precisely what your eyes are asking for. Here's the simple method. Half a cup of cooked black beans. Swap in kidney beans or chickpeas if you prefer. 1 to 1.5 cups of half cherry or grape tomatoes. A little minced red onion. A few sprigs of cilantro if you like it. Sprinkle a small handful of lightly toasted pumpkin seeds. Add 1 to 2 handfuls of fresh spinach. Drizzle a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil and squeeze half a lemon or a fresh lime. Toss, season with a pinch of salt and pepper if needed. Enjoy with 1 small orange or half a glass of unsweetened orange or grapefruit juice. This bowl soothes blood sugar thanks to fiber, treats blood pressure kindly thanks to natural potassium, and is gentle on digestion. On mission, beans and pumpkin seeds bring zinc for the retina and optic nerve. Tomatoes and lemon/orange bring vitamin C to build collagen. Spinach brings nitrate to keep the blood moving smoothly. 1 bowl, 3 lines of defense, and why patients often say, Doctor, this is the first eye-healthy dish I've ever wanted seconds of. I want that for you. Food not as medicine, but as joy that, when done right, becomes a habit. That if you try this, snap a photo of your bowl and comment first bowl. Next week, I'll pick 5 comments to send a PDF copy of the 30-day Healthy Eyes Checklist. We're almost done, but let me wrap with 3 simple lines. First, know where you're on the risk map. If you're over 60, have a family history, or are African American or Hispanic/Latino, make intraocular pressure checks and visual field testing regular appointments. Don't wait to feel something. Feelings arrive late. Second, protect those microvessels daily. Steady blood sugar, blood pressure, and range. Don't ignore quality sleep. Screen for sleep apnea if you notice signs. Talk with your doctor about the risk of excessive nighttime dips if you're on medication. Third, nutrition is your steady ally. Vitamin C builds the scaffolding, zinc guards the command center, leafy greens open the road. Food first. Your body knows how to use it better than you might think. I know you've got a few questions. Let me answer them now. Do I need supplements? If your diet is very limited or tests show a deficiency, supplements can help. But for most people, real food is safer, more balanced, and more effective. If you're considering high-dose zinc or vitamin C, talk to your doctor, especially if you're on other medications. How long until I notice a difference? Some people report less glare and eye fatigue in 4 to 6 weeks when they eat vitamin C and zinc regularly and add gentle movement. But the big goal with glaucoma isn't just how you feel, it's the objective numbers, pressure, and visual fields staying steady over time. Be patient and keep your follow-ups. I'm 82 late. Absolutely not. Every day you do the right things for your eyes, you're buying more quality time for your vision. I've watched many patients stay stable for years on small changes done consistently. If this video was helpful, please tap like so it can reach others. Hit subscribe and the bell so you don't miss the simple at-home visual field check next week. And what will you start with first, citrus or beans? Comment one word, citrus or beans. Before we wrap, I invite you to write a small promise to yourself in the comments. I will start with maybe it's the 10-minute salad, a handful of leafy greens, or that appointment for pressure check. Let the community here cheer you on. I'm Dr. Robert Ellis. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video, where we'll decode what your doctor is really looking for in that bright light exam, and why tiny blind spots can tell such a big story. Keep your eyes, keep your moments, and start today.